My model girlfriend was using me for money, so I secretly used her connections to get revenge. Now my ex is trying to win me back. Hey everyone, I'm 29, and I've been with my fiancée, Bella, 25, for almost a year. Bella's an up-and-coming model and drop-dead gorgeous, so beautiful I couldn't believe she was with me for the first few months. My friends couldn't either, since I'm just an average-looking guy. They say looks don't matter, but I still felt out of place next to someone so stunning. I was fine with low-key dates, but about 6 months in, Bella started dropping hints about getting married. I was so head over heels for her, I'd have done anything she wanted. So, 7 months into dating, I proposed, and she said yes without hesitation. My friends and family were a bit shocked at how fast things moved, but seeing how happy I was, they supported me and didn't ask too many questions. Things were mostly good, some ups and downs, but I thought our love was real, at least for me. Then, 3 months ago, everything changed. Bella invited her friends over to help plan the wedding. I was feeling sick that day and was napping in the bedroom. When I got up to grab food, I stopped near the kitchen because I overheard Bella and her friends talking about me in the living room. They didn't see me, and they were ripping into me, laughing at cruel jokes about my insecurities. I stood there, fuming and humiliated. The worst part? Bella herself laughed and said she'd landed a rich idiot with a crap face and was living the dream. Her friends cackled at that. I slipped back to the bedroom, unable to listen anymore. I was burning with rage and wanted to dump her right then, but I held back. Instead, I decided to play the long game and use her the way she was using me. I'm a web developer and make decent money, so I've been footing all our bills since Bella can't afford her lavish lifestyle. She's just starting her modeling career and doesn't earn enough, and her parents aren't wealthy either. She moved in with me 2 months into dating, saying she couldn't afford rent. I offered to let her stay temporarily, but she never left. Since then, I've paid for everything, her Ubers to castings, clothes, accessories, makeup, you name it. She wasn't wrong about the rich idiot part. I was bankrolling her entire life. After hearing her trash me, I was ready to end it, but then I hatched a better plan. I have a cousin, let's call her Irene, 23, who's been trying to break into modeling. Her dad's a super successful businessman with serious cash, but he didn't support her career choice, calling it a waste of time. He refused to help unless she landed a few contracts on her own. Irene moved to our city a few months after I started dating Bella, and I knew she could use my help. But Bella forbade me from helping Irene, saying the modeling world is too competitive and Irene could be a threat to her career. So Irene was on her own, young, no connections, and clueless about networking, despite having her dad's credit card. After hearing Bella's cruel words, I decided to help Irene in secret. In exchange, she'd send me half the money from any contract she got through my tips. I started tracking Bella's castings, meeting the right people there, and passing those contacts to Irene. Sometimes she landed gigs, sometimes not, but she was so mad at her dad for not supporting her that she sent me $1,000 per contract. Who was I to complain? If she wanted to stick it to her dad while I got paid, I was fine with that. The setup worked perfectly. I was getting richer every month. I had to hide it from Bella, of course, since she'd get suspicious if I suddenly cared about her industry. This went on for months, and I grew completely cold toward Bella. I didn't break up with her because I was still using her connections to help Irene, but I kept our interactions minimal. I played the sweet, romantic boyfriend when we were together, so she had no clue what was going on. I also told my parents a week after overhearing her that I wasn't marrying Bella. I didn't share the full story, but they knew the wedding was off. Bella, of course, had no idea and kept planning, asking me to book venues and vendors. I'd agree but do nothing. This week, everything blew up. Wedding invitations were supposed to go out, but I hadn't done a thing. Meanwhile, Irene landed a huge contract with a prestigious modeling agency, and she was beyond grateful. Even her dad was impressed and sent me $5,000 as a thank you for helping her. Honestly, they're pretty generous people. When Bella asked why the invitations weren't sent, I decided it was time to come clean and end things. I'd spent months playing this game, and with Irene's success and my extra cash, there was no point keeping up the charade. I told her I hadn't planned anything, there'd be no wedding, and I'd overheard her joke with her friends. I admitted I'd used her to boost Irene's career and got paid for it. I laid it all out. Why hide anything now? Bella was floored. She cried, screamed, and threw a fit, saying I betrayed and used her. I told her it was because of what she said behind my back. She claimed it was just a joke, not meant to hurt, but I said it was cruel and humiliating. We argued, but she eventually broke down, saying I'd betrayed her in the worst way over a stupid joke and that she'd never wish this on her worst enemy. She swore she really loved me and I should have talked to her first instead of destroying our relationship. I held my ground, it wasn't just a joke, it cut deep. Her words weren't funny, they were vicious, especially since she joined her shallow friends in mocking my looks. I paid for everything, cared about her happiness, and worked harder to support us both. Hearing her trash my appearance, knowing I wasn't as attractive as her, hurt like hell. She packed her stuff and left an hour later. I didn't stop her, I was too angry and hurt. For 2 days, I buried myself and worked to numb the pain. I'd fallen out of love with her long ago, but I was used to her being around. Sometimes I thought I could fall for her again, but now that it was over, I felt lost in my empty house. This morning, Bella texted me, saying she still loves me and wants to fix things if I'm willing. She said she misses me terribly and can't imagine life without me. I haven't responded because I'm torn. I don't know if I miss her, love her, or want her back. My emotions are a mess, and I feel like a jerk for what I did. Maybe she's right, maybe I blew it out of proportion. After all, I did use her to help Irene and make money. What should I say to her? Drop your thoughts in the comments. My take, this is wild. We had a similar story recently where a girl mocked her boyfriend's intimate details to her friends, but this feels different. That was immature, but saying you're only with your boyfriend because he's a rich idiot? That's next level cruel. I think the guy did the right thing, but could it have been a flex for her friends? Maybe, but that still says a lot about her character if she'd say something so harsh just to look cool. What do you think, did he go too far, or was this justified? Let's see what happened next. Update. I didn't reply to Bella's message. After reading your comments and messages, I realized I might have gone too far. I was about to reach out and apologize, but then one of Bella's friends messaged me with a bombshell. She sent a screenshot of Bella asking to crash at her place until her loser boyfriend, me, takes her back where she finds someone new. Bella sent this to their whole friend group, saying she left after our fight but not explaining why. The friend felt guilty because Bella kept bad-mouthing me despite us nearly getting married. She wanted to clear her conscience by showing me what Bella was saying behind my back. She didn't know I already knew how Bella talked about me, but I'm grateful her conscience kicked in, it stopped me from apologizing and taking Bella back. I dodged a bullet. The criticism I got for staying with Bella just for revenge was fair, it made me rethink things and almost pushed me to apologize. But Bella deserved what I did. She's the epitome of narcissism and selfishness. I can't believe she wanted to come back just because she had nowhere to live. In recent months, she got lazy going to castings but doing nothing around the house. I didn't mind cleaning up for both of us since she was making me money through Irene. She didn't even grocery shop, so I was spending less than I earned. Seeing that screenshot, I was so glad I hadn't responded. There's no way we're getting back together, she's an awful person. What I did might seem crazy, but she earned it. I blocked her on everything and am thinking of moving to a bigger apartment to avoid her completely. Thanks to Irene and her dad, I've made good money, and I'm getting a raise in a couple weeks, so it's a great time to start looking for a new place. My friends were shocked when I told them the wedding was off, they had no clue. When I spilled the full story, some thought Bella deserved it, while others said I went too far and should have just dumped her the day I heard her joke. Once they hear about her fake love confession just to live rent-free, I'm sure they'll agree she had it coming. Even if she finds a new guy to move in with after a few months, I doubt he'll be as blinded by her as I was or let her live off him. Maybe she'll find another sucker, who knows? I don't care anymore. I'm just glad she's gone and I don't have to deal with her. Bella somehow got a new number and started texting, trying to blackmail me into letting her move back in. She threatened to tell everyone I used her modeling connections to help my rich cousin. I told her if she doesn't spill the whole truth, people will just think I was helping family. I hope she's not naive enough to think she can trash talk me while I stay silent. I warned her that if she spreads lies, I'll tell everyone what she did, and with her big social media following, it'll hit her harder than me. She hasn't responded, and I hope she doesn't, I'm so done with her. But texts weren't enough. Today, Bella showed up at my workplace. The receptionist called me because Bella refused to leave until she saw me. I took her to a nearby cafe to avoid a scene in front of my colleagues. As soon as we sat down, she started whining about how I treated her unfairly and deserved a second chance. She said she could be a good girlfriend under the right circumstances. I asked what she meant, since she had it made, living stress-free, paying for nothing. Turns out, that's exactly what she meant. She said I spoiled her rotten, letting her walk all over me. If I'd pushed back more, she might have been more into me. She called me spineless, average-looking, and said my low self-esteem made it easy for her to manipulate me without guilt. That's why she said what she did. But now, knowing I was secretly outsmarting her, she suddenly felt attracted to me and could take me seriously as a boyfriend. I swear I'm not making this up, she said this out loud. I barely kept from laughing in her face, it was absurd. I don't know if it was a desperate ploy or if she believed it, but it was hilarious. I told her I'd think about it and get back to her, just to get out of there without cracking up. She made me promise to talk later. Another reason I'm glad we're done, she'd baby talk when she knew I was mad, like it'd make her cuter. It was gross, but I was too polite to say so. I got home half an hour ago, and I can't wrap my head around her trying to come back just to have a place to crash. It's pathetic, she's so lazy and dependent on a guy that she can't even muster the pride to leave me alone. I'm done talking to her and will make sure she gets the message next time. She called again today from a friend's phone, and I answered to end it for good. When she asked if I'd thought about her words, I said there's nothing to think about. Even with a gun to my head, I wouldn't take her back. I went off, telling her she's a pathetic loser I'm done with, and she should find someone else to leech off. She argued that the only reason I have money is because I used her connections to get in with my rich cousin, so I'm the leech. That's where the story ends. My take, it might seem like an abrupt ending, but it's clear they're done. One thing bugs me, how exactly did he get those connections from Bella? My guess is he snooped through her phone for client contacts. Sounds risky, but maybe it worked. What do you think about that part? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Check out our previous videos linked here, subscribe to catch new ones, and see you next time.